You know what I like about you, Dom? You're a genuine outlaw, but you're family.
The hell of a job, brother. When we get back to the base, beer's on me.
He's about to go up against the only thing they can't handle. You. Did you ever think you'd betray your family the way you did today?
Dominic Toretto just turned on us.
Well, you look at that.
I don't know why he's doing this, but that wasn't Dom.
She's the very definition of high-tech terrorism. And now, she's working with your guy.
I think I found my team.
This should be interesting.
Movie Month. It is my 4th annual movie month. I'll watch 30 movies that I've never seen in 30 days. I'm almost positive that the first Fast and the Furious movie was basically a cop infiltrating a car racing gang. Basically, they steal cars, but they also steal DVD players and electronics. That was the first Fast and the Furious movie. And I just watched Fate of the Furious, which is Fast and the Furious 8. And basically, it's about this woman who blackmails one of the guys in this gang, and the rest to steal a nuclear football and to try to steal a nuclear submarine and launch nuclear weapons. So it's kind of a long way, I guess. The movies have gotten just more and more realistic, obviously, and I started watching Fast and the Furious movies in 2015. Watched the first 6. Last year I watched the Furious 7, and this year, today, right now, I can say that I am 100% caught up, and I watched Fate of the Furious, and I have to tell you, I kind of think I loved this movie. To me, 5 was like when it really started going crazy. That was like the best one, I thought. And then I didn't care for 6 or 7 all that much. And now they won me back. I don't know exactly, watch the whole thing. I didn't roll my eyes too much. Obviously, there's still this over-the-top machismo, over-the-top ridiculous, stunts, ridiculous action. People can, flip in cars and jump out of cars, and they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But I don't know what it was. I think it really started to dawn on me that I like this movie when there was this giant chase scene in New York City where all these cars were hijacked remotely and all driven at the same time. And I'm sure it was all mostly done in CGI, but it was impressive to watch. And it was, I loved it. And from there on, I was like, this is just a big fun, ridiculous, crazy action movie. And they top it off by driving over a frozen lake while being chased by a nuclear submarine. I mean, really, you can't get any better than that. Well, it probably will, because I think there's at least 2 more movies and possibly spin-offs. This is basically the gist of it. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to try not to spoil it too much, but basically, Charlize Theron shows up in Cuba, where Dom and Yeti are having their honeymoon. I forgot they even got married. So that's Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez. And she didn't even bother me that much this time, which is saying something. She threatens him. Basically, she shows him something and says, you're going to work with me now. So you're going to betray all your friends. And so The Rock gets pulled into some job. The job's not important. They're all working the job, and then boom, Vin Diesel betrays them. And you think he's a bad guy now. We know he's not. But they don't know what the hell's going on. So Kurt Russell and Clint Eastwood's son, I don't know if he's the new Brian. I mean, he's not the new Brian, but he seems to be filling a little bit of a void. He seems to have joined the job. His character name, he didn't have a character name, IMDb calls him Little Nobody because he worked with Mr. Nobody. So I don't know if he's going to get a name. I don't know if he's going to be in future movies. I have no idea. But towards the end, he was part of the gang, helping out, and of course he could drive a race car just like everybody else can. But Clint Eastwood's like, Clint Eastwood, this guy Scott Eastwood and Kurt Russell. So they got the gang together. We got to find him because he's working with his terrorists. Yada yada yada. So it basically all culminates into Vin Diesel finally getting out from under Charlize Theron and helping his friends escape and stopping Charlize Theron with the nuclear missile, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to say exactly what he had holding over her because it was a little bit of a reveal, though it was kind of foreshadowed in a sloppy way. When I look back, I'm like, oh, geez, well, that's why that happened. And then they play they have a nice little tribute, quote unquote tribute to the Brian character. They honor him in a way, even though he's alive, and they mention him. And they said, we should call him, but no, we're not going to call him. So that's a weird thing because, Paul Walker's gone and the character of Brian is still mentioned as being alive, but they just don't want to have anything to do with him. They want to leave him and be his own thing. Okay, fine. And Jason Statham is now part of the gang. He actually had one of the best scenes of the whole movie when he had to rescue somebody on an airplane. That's all I'll say. I don't want to say too much because it's still a fairly new movie and people will be seeing it. But am I correct that he killed Han? He's the guy who killed Han, like in a previous movie. All's forgotten. Turns out that this Charlize Theron's been pulling the strings for a long time to get Jason Statham and Jason Statham's brother and Jason Statham's mother. I feel like that was Helen Mirren, or I don't know if it is or not, but I was like, that actress looks really familiar, and I haven't looked it up yet. But I was like, what is she doing in this movie? And then I thought, wait a minute, that's just an actress. I don't know if it's Helen Mirren or not, but I thought it was. Actually, first I said Judi Dench, but that's not Judi Dench. But it was weird because, I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but you see this character, and she was British, so I just made the connection that it was Jason Statham's mother, and it was. That's not that big of a reveal, but it all kind of works together because, of course, Dom is planning things ahead of time to get out from under Charlize Theron. Look, who gives a crap about the plot? The action scenes in this movie were awesome. The big ones being the remote hijacking of the cars flying through New York City, literally flying through New York City. And of course, at the end, when they have this giant chase scene on ice with of course a nuclear submarine, pretty standard action movie stuff. It seems like The Rock got a more human side shown in this movie. He's with his daughter, he's coaching soccer. And he's retired from the force. He's not going back, which is silly because he's joining the gang or he's going back. He'll be back in future movies. I don't know what else to say except I'm happy to be caught up. I'm glad I started watching these movies because they're ridiculous, but they're fun as hell. And this one was a fun one. This was back to some crazy fun stuff that I don't know. I didn't roll my eyes as much this time. I laughed actually, and a few times because of how crazy the action is. And, I remember thinking they're trying to make Tyrese this funny guy. Well, turns out he's the funny guy. He's the guy who all this crazy stuff's happening to. He's kind of the loudmouth, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy him. He's actually, a lot of fun. That's all I'm really going to say. I don't want to say too much more. As far as Fast and the Furious movies are going, I believe there's going to be 2 more. And I read something today about a spinoff, possibly. Who knows? But this thing made it only made 200 and something million in the United States, which is a lot of money, but it cost 200 something million to make. The thing is that it made $1 billion worldwide. It made over $1 billion outside of the United States. So that's why these movies are going to keep happening, because that's a lot of money. And that's why there's 8 of these. Look, I got nothing else to say except I'm glad I saw this. It was fun. It was worth seeing. I'm glad I'm caught up. and to me they're back, and I don't, that sour feeling that the last couple movies have left in my mouth is gone. Fate of the Furious, one thumb up, because the other hand's holding my phone. That's it for me. This is This is Fans Not Experts Movie Month. Geek Mentality Movie Month is a long time ago. That's the old name. Fans Not Experts Movie Month. Find me on any platform with the hashtag FNE Movie Month. I'm on Twitter at Geek Mentality and at Fans Not Experts. And I'm on Facebook, Fans Not Experts there. And of course the website, fansnotexperts.com. We're on iTunes. If you search Geek Mentality on iTunes, you're going to get every episode of Movie Month every year. I don't do a ton of things besides that, but every year you're going to get 30 podcasts showing up in your feed in June. So if you just subscribe, I don't even care if you listen, just subscribe and leave it in the back. Just you delete every episode. I don't care as long as you subscribe. But if you do subscribe, if you do like it, if you listen, if you think if I'm stupid, horrible, anything, and go to iTunes, subscribe, leave a review, talk about how handsome my voice sounds, anything like that. That's fine. So that's it. Day number 8 is in the books. 8 movies down, 22 to go. I feel like, geez, I've seen a bunch of movies already. I've only seen 8 movies. I have 22 more movies to go, 22 more podcasts, and I hope you come with me along the way. And until then, here, listen to this. This is my theme song. This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.